Good morning, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Calandra, and we are going to talk about opinion writing again, adding details to your opinion writing. This is going to be so it can help you make your opinion writing a lot better. So I hope you listen carefully and it helps you in your writing. What can we add to improve? In my opinion, Biggie is the best puppy to start with. Biggie is tiny and hypoallergenic. For instance, my allergies won't act up when I am around him. Next, Biggie is playful. In fact, I can play fetch with him. Lastly, Biggie doesn't bark or howl. In other words, he won't bother anybody in the house. As you can see, Biggie is the best puppy. Last week, I introduced the transition words. If you look on there, I have some colored words in there. In green, I have my introduction. In blue, I have my reason transitions. In purple, I have my example transitions. And in red, I have my conclusion transition. So I color coordinated. So I went ahead and added transitions to my whole writing. Well, this is good writing here, but I know I can do better. So what I can do to improve is, in my opinion, Biggie is the best puppy. I can add, in my opinion, my tiny puppy Biggie is the best puppy in the world. So in this slide, you can see I added the words to describe Biggie, an adjective, tiny. And I also added where. So I added a preposition, which was in. So where? In the world. So I was more specific. You don't have to add tons and tons of adjectives and prepositions and adverbs because then it will get really wordy. But adding adjectives and other descriptive words helps your opinion writing. Here's another example. To start with, Biggie is tiny and hypoallergenic. This is my reason, first reason. To start with, Biggie is tiny and his hair is hypoallergenic, so he doesn't shed. So you can add more information. I added his hair is, and you can add words to help your readers understand unknown words, context clues. So in case people didn't know what hypoallergenic meant, um, so he doesn't shed helps me understand, if he doesn't shed, that makes him hypoallergenic. So therefore, maybe hypoallergenic means it doesn't irritate your allergies. Next, we can add to improve. What can we add to improve? For instance, my allergies won't act up when I'm around him. So I can add more information. For instance, my allergies won't act up when I am around him. I can play with him without feeling uncomfortable. So I added a whole new sentence telling me how that helps me not get my allergies worse. So adding more information. What can we add to improve? Next, Biggie is playful. That's very simple sentence. So I can add, next, Biggie is playful and full of energy. So I added and full of energy. I can just add more information. So if you notice, the words I'm adding, I put in red. So that way I know that wasn't there in the beginning. What can we add to improve? In fact, I can play fetch with him. So I added, in fact, I can play several games like fetch and tug of war. So I added different things. I forgot to highlight several games in red, but you get what I'm trying to say. I can add additional examples of games that I can play with him. So it goes from a plain sentence to something more interesting with more information. What can we add to improve? Lastly, Biggie doesn't bark or howl. And I changed it and I added more words. I added words to describe the verbs used in the sentence. Lastly, Biggie doesn't make annoying noises like barking or howling. So I made it progressive. I changed bark and howl to barking and howling because it went better with what I added into my sentence. What can we add to improve? In other words, he won't bother anybody in the house. In other words, he won't disturb anybody in the house. Instead of saying bother, I used a synonym. You can replace words with synonyms. I changed bother to disturb. So that also helps your writing, using bigger words to say the same thing. What can we add to improve? As you can see, Biggie is the best puppy. There was my conclusion, and I kept it red, and I just underlined what I added to my sentence. As you can see, my adorable Biggie is the best puppy in the whole world. So I just added adjectives and prepositions. My adorable is an adjective. So I just added adjectives and then prepositions in the whole world. So it restated my opinion in the introduction. So I just change things, add things, and it makes it more interesting. So this is what we had at the beginning. In my opinion, Biggie is the best puppy. To start with, Biggie is tiny and hypoallergenic. For instance, my allergies won't act up when I am around him. Next, Biggie is playful. In fact, I can play fetch with him. Lastly, Biggie doesn't bark or howl. In other words, he won't bother anybody in the house. As you can see, Biggie is the best puppy. Okay, this is a good opinion writing, but like I said, we can always improve our writing. This is what I added in red. So it's all color coordinated. In my opinion, my tiny puppy Biggie is the best puppy in the world. To start with, Biggie is tiny and his hair is hyperallergenic, so he doesn't shed. For instance, my allergies won't act up when I am around him. I can play with him without feeling uncomfortable. Next, Biggie is playful and full of energy. In fact, I can play several games like fetch and tug of war with him. Lastly, Biggie doesn't make annoying noises like barking or howling. In other words, he won't disturb anybody in the house. As you can see, my adorable Biggie is the best puppy in the whole world. So, my writing went from very basic to adding adjectives, prepositions, a bunch of new information, and it made my writing a lot better. So, just letting you know, adding simple things like adjectives, describing things, adding more information so your reader knows more. Remember that mental picture you get in your head when you're reading? You want your reader to have that as well. So you can picture it. Not only can you see the picture of Biggie, but you can picture what I'm talking about in your head. So if you have any questions, just let your teacher know and they will be happy to help once again. So I hope this helped you. And I really, really want to see you guys again. So have a good day and I miss you. Take care of yourselves, Falcons.